What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Wanted to give you guys some Canelo Lara updates, as well as talk about Miguel Cotto versus Canelo. And shout out to Gabriel, who sent me the clip from Ellie Sekback, the homie Ellie Sekback. I didn't get a chance to see the video until he sent it, but I did watch it, and Canelo looks sharp. So I want to start off by talking about the Canelo Lara. Great fight, 50-50 fight. Boxing's been good to us. We've had Juan Manuel Marquez versus Mike Alvarado, Carl Froch, George Groves, Adonis Stevenson, Fonfara. Then we had Sergio Martinez, Miguel Cotto. This week we got Ruslan Provodnikov, Demetrius Andrade. Shout out to Demetrius Andrade. I recently did an interview with him. Check that on the channel. He says he beats Canelo and Lara. Check it out for full details and hear what he said. And as far as Canelo Lara, I reached out to Steven Espinoza of Showtime, asked him if they were doing an all access leading up to the fight. He did respond, and this is what he had to say, so you guys can read the picture. I want to give you guys that update as well. I like Canelo Lara. I think it's an excellent fight that needs to be happening, and boxing needs more of this. Just tough fights, hard pick'em fights. You can really make an argument for both fighters winning. I think Canelo and Lara, a lot of variables, and I did that video on May 29th saying Erislandy Lara might be in trouble. Canelo looks sharp, and I got to be honest, I'm leaning more towards Canelo. When I started off, I was like, Erislandy Lara, he's going to outbox him. Mayweather did this. Mayweather frustrated him. Austin Trout did this. And the more I think about it, the more I'm definitely leaning towards Canelo. Not saying Erislandy Lara can't win, but I have this gut feeling. I don't know why. I have a gut feeling. One, Canelo has two ways to win. He's the crowd favorite. They're already talking about making Miguel Cotto fights and possibly future fights. He's the bankable star, the money-making star. So if it's a close round, you know they're going to give it to him, just like they did in the Austin Trout fight. Now, I have no problem with Canelo winning the Austin Trout fight. I thought he did win. However, my only problem with the Trout-Canelo fight was fucking open scoring. Not a fan. I don't like it. I don't think it's right that the corner and the fighters have an indication of where they're at in the fight during the fight. It just doesn't make sense. It's not been that way. Let them be in wonder and surprise them at the end with the end result. I don't feel like you should be able to adjust your game plan, and it works both ways. If the fighter's ahead, then they know, hey, I don't have to take any unnecessary risk. He needs a knockout to beat me. You know what I'm saying? So it's retarded because they can just hit cruise control and then coast. And then for the fighter that's down, that changes your game plan. That could change your strategy. And I think it happened in the Austin Trout fight. He looked good early, but then he found that the judges in Texas had it a lopsided decision for Canelo up to the round that they were in. So all of a sudden, Austin Trout had to become a fighter that he's not. He's not Gennady Golovkin, Alfredo Angulo. He's Austin Trout. And he had to become the aggressor and try to walk Canelo down and drastically hurt him in order to win that fight. And that's not a good look. That just takes him out of his complete element. So I'm not a fan of open scoring. Never have been, never will. But I definitely think, given all things considered, Canelo won that fight. Then I'm looking at the Mayweather fight. I'm like, yeah, Mayweather did this, Mayweather did that. But Mayweather's Mayweather, Erislandy Lara is Erislandy Lara. I think a lot of times people generalize slick fighters. You can't say Mayweather fights like Tim Bradley, even though they're both slick. So Erislandy Lara and Mayweather, they're their own people. They have their own style. They both have defensive-minded strategies. They both have lateral movement. Same thing with Timothy Bradley. But they're all independent. Some people hit harder. Some people have different reach. There's differences, and that's what makes boxing interesting. So the more I think about it, the more I realize, when is the last time Erislandy Lara has dominated really anybody? He's had tough fights with Carlos Molina. A lot of people thought he should have lost that fight. He struggled a bit with Angulo, even though he was able to stop Angulo. He had just some tough fights and tough outs with people. Then I look at Canelo, and Canelo is kind of like Good Will Hunting to me. Good Will Hunting was the movie with Matt Damon where he's a genius and he was exceptionally smart. However, he didn't come across like that. He talked slang with his Bostons, like getting the khakis. Like, you know what I'm saying? You wouldn't be able to tell by his demeanor, but he was very smart. And I think that's kind of what Canelo is. He's kind of like a recluse. He doesn't really say too much, doesn't really act like Adrian Broner or this and that. But I think he's wise beyond his years. And what better way to gain information than to talk to people and to hear from people that have actually been in the ring with him. Mayweather gave him his props even after the fight. The fight had been over, and he's talking this is post Maidana fight, and Mayweather was still praising Canelo. saying, oh, he hits harder than Maidana, he's going to be a future champion. Same thing with Shane Mosley. He said leading up to the Mayweather-Canelo fight that he's deceptive because you don't really think much and he's better than what you think, and he's only age 21. So I'm going to have to agree with him that this kid is actually special, or has the makings to be special, if he continues staying focused, making weight, and keeps his eyes on the prize. And just looking at this Elie Seckbach clip of him training, he really looks sharp. And again, he looks like one of those type of fighters where you underestimate him, and then you're like, oh, wow, damn, like I didn't expect him to be that fast. That's exactly what Austin Trout said in a post-fight interview that I seen. He said his speed, I wasn't expecting him to be so quick. And I think he has a good ring IQ. So I'm leaning towards Canelo and Lara. Like I said, this is subject to change. This is not my official prediction, but I'm just leaning towards Canelo. Again, I think he has two ways to win. Now I want to talk about Miguel Cotto versus Canelo. This is a mega fight. Puerto Rico versus Mexico historically have given us great fights. Antonio Margarito versus Miguel Cotto, and a slew of other fights. Rocky Martinez versus Juan Carlos Burgos. There's other great fights that have been mentioned and that have been made. This is a mega fight. Both fighters can pack a house by themselves. Cotto did it with Delvin Rodriguez. Canelo did it with Austin Trout, and nobody really even knew Austin Trout. But they have that type of star power. This is a fight that needs to happen, and I hope it happens. I like this better than a Mayweather-Cotto rematch, better than Gennady Golovkin and Cotto, just because the event, the stylistic matchup, and I think it's a reasonable fight that can and should happen. And I'm really looking forward to it if it does happen. We'll have to see. We'll have to see what Canelo looks like against Lara. But as far as that, Lara definitely has a shot. I'm not counting him out. I don't have an official prediction. I might change my mind tomorrow. But based on what I'm thinking about, when is the last time Erislandy Lara has just completely and utterly dominated a good name? Like when Mayweather fought Arturo Gatti, Diego Corrales, when he fought Canelo, how he dominated them. When is the last time Erislandy Lara did that? Or how Pacquiao dominated Eric Morales in the second fight, how he dominated Brandon Rios when they fought. When is the last time you've seen Erislandy Lara do that? Like where it was a shutout. It was a great name, and he just shut them the fuck out. Austin Trout? I think that was pretty competitive early, and then he just started to pull away and further pull away. That's just my opinion, folks. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you hit the like button. As always, hate, comment, or subscribe. Till next video, it's Ego signing off.